Alright, you guys. Today is June 12th, 2024. It is currently 10:20 a.m. And welcome to this new tropical weather outlook video. As I said, this is June 12th, 2024. And we now have 3 areas that we need to watch here. We still have Invest 90L, which is currently situated about right there in Florida. And then, if we switch over to our satellite imagery, one of the Eastern Pacific, we have our area of low pressure over here, and then we have something in the Gulf which wants to develop, crossing over from the Eastern Pacific. I'm pretty sure it's this cell that'll move north into the Gulf. And apparently it has it has a chance. We're going to say that. It has a chance of doing something. So let's first talk about 90L. So not much has changed since last night when I last posted. It still has a 10% chance of forming in the next 2 days and a 20% chance in the next week. Overall, its chances are still low. So let's read what they have to say in the discussion here. So this is for the Florida Peninsula and offshore southeast U.S. This is our Invest 90L. An elongated area of low pressure over the Florida Peninsula is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Although upper-level winds are expected to be only marginally conductive, some slow development is possible while the system moves northeastward offshore of the U.S. southeast coast tonight through late week. Regardless of development, heavy rainfall is forecast to continue across portions of the Florida Peninsula during the next few days. For more information, see products issued by the Weather Prediction Center and local National Weather Service forecast offices. And then, just to reiterate, it has a low percent chance of forming through the next 48 hours, with 10% chance and a formation chance of 20%. So that's with that, and we have a tornado warning outside Miami. That's fun. I'll probably go live after I'm done recording this video then and discover that. So now we'll move on to this new area of interest that's popped up. This has a 0% chance of forming in the next 2 days and a 20% chance of forming in the next week. Overall, just like all these systems, it has a low chance of development. So let's go over and read this discussion. So this is southwestern Gulf of Mexico. A broad area of low pressure could form over the weekend across the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. Environmental conditions appear conducive for some slow development early next week while the system moves slowly westward or west-northwestward. Then once again, formation chance through 48 hours is low, near 0%. And the formation chance through 7 days is low, 20%. Now, finally, let's jump on over to our system in the Eastern Pacific. Much like the system in the Gulf, it has a 0% chance of forming in the next 2 days and a 20% chance of forming in the next 7 days. So let's read this discussion. So this is offshore southern Mexico and Central America. A broad area of low pressure could form late this week, a couple of 100 miles off the coast of southern Mexico or Guatemala. Some slow development is possible this weekend and early next week while the system meanders near the coast. Then once again, formation chance through 48 hours is low, near 0%, and the formation chance through 7 days is low, 20%. Now let's take a look at the forecast models here. I'm going to switch it to the North Atlantic. So nothing really comes out of 90L, much like last night. Could have a quick tropical depression there, but then it gets sucked up and we're not really seeing anything. And then, look at that. By Wednesday the 19th, that's next week. That is 1 week out. GFS developed something. Now, it's not as strong as it was yesterday, but it does hint that something's going to happen again. Other than that, there's a couple waves that come off Africa, but really don't do much. Actually, honestly, I think this thing that forms is the current wave that just came off of Africa. Pretty sure that's what it is. Let's jump back over to our radar to look at our satellite. Let's go to the main development region. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this thing right here is what eventually goes out towards. I'm pretty sure that's our system in the Gulf that the GFS is depicting. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully. Not NWS. The Hurricane Center might mark this thing as it gets closer to the Gulf. So, once again, if you're in New Orleans, Mobile, Tallahassee, Pensacola, Gulfport, Baton Rouge, I'm going to extend it out to Beaumont and Houston as well. If you guys are in those areas, you need to watch this thing very carefully. Because if you remember last night, the original impact zone for this storm was in this region. But now, with this new update, it looks like it's more in that region. So this thing is shifting with every model run. So, once again, Mobile, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Gulfport, Mobile, Pensacola. If you're in the Florida Keys or Cuba, or the Yucatan as well, I'd watch out for this thing. It looks like it'll come in much like that and then curve up out of that, or it'll go something like that. Let me change the color here. It'll go something like that. So, once again, you guys need to be on alert watching this thing. Well, you have a couple areas. You have two areas to watch right now. If you're along the Gulf Coast, you have two main areas you need to watch right now. You have this thing right here. Then you have this disorganized cluster of showers and thunderstorms that just came off of Africa to watch. Actually, I want to see, does this thing have spin? Doesn't really have much spin right now. However, that could change in an instant. You guys just need to watch this thing. But that'll do it here for me today. I'll be back at around 3 p.m. with another tropical weather outlook video. But until then, guys, peace.